Hi, I'm Pep Rosenfeld, and Salesforce and I welcome you to this episode of Leading Through Change. This one will focus on IT. In this new all-digital work-anywhere world, ensuring the safety and security of your customer data has never been more important. Learn how leaders in IT across Europe are using the Salesforce Customer 360 platform to strengthen their data governance and protect their customer data against new threats. If you're ready, I sure am, so let's get started.
Welcome to another episode of the Leading Through Change in IT series. Today we're going to discuss how to manage and secure your data in unprecedented times. If you have seen a Salesforce presentation before, you will know this slide. It says that you should base your purchasing decisions on products and services that are actually available on the market today and not so much on forward-looking statements. I wanted to start off by saying thank you. Thank you for being part of our community and thank you for tuning in today. Now I would like to introduce the speakers of today's webinar and myself. I am Annemarie Hakvoort and I'm a Platform Account Manager at Salesforce. And I'm very fortunate to have here with me today the extremely knowledgeable IT leader Hans der Kinderen. Hans is a domain architect at T-Mobile Nederland and involved in many Salesforce projects. Also, I would like to introduce my colleague and fellow presenter, Daan van Santen. Daan is a solution engineer at Salesforce and he will be driving the demo. Today we're going to discuss the impact of COVID-19 to IT leaders. We will have a conversation with Hans about the way he is leading the organization through change, and we will see Salesforce in action in a demo. This slide might not be surprising to any one of you. We're in the midst of an unprecedented crisis. It is not only taking toll on public health, but also causing serious economic consequences across the globe. Those macroeconomic hardships are affecting every business in different ways. Some businesses remain shut down, while others are reopening again and preparing for the new normal. In this time, the role of an IT leader is more critical than ever. The IT leader is tasked with massive transformations. The IT leader is like a human API shuttling between its own organization, other C-level leaders, and external stakeholders. And now IT leaders have to demonstrate agility and speed with impact. And the IT leader is in the position to drive digital transformation. So, although there is a lot of pressure to show impact behind projects, digital transformation and technology are more relevant than ever. Before COVID-19, digital transformation was imperative to remain competitive. And now we see that digital transformation is becoming imperative for survival. In the past months, we have seen how important it is to be digital. And we, as Salesforce, are here trying to help our customers in this digital transformation. To manage this digital imperative, IT leaders everywhere are faced with three main challenges. First, how do I empower my remote workforce? Second, how can I take care of my customers and partners during times of a crisis? And third, how can I secure and manage my data in this era of remote work? T-Mobile Nederland is currently going through a digital transformation. Part of this is focused on the customer experience. For example, customers will have access to their own portals, and today we will dive deeper into the challenges of managing the access of customers to Salesforce environments while keeping their data secure. And to do so, I would love to welcome one of our trailblazers in IT, Hans der Kinderen. So I have prepared some questions for you, but maybe you first want to introduce yourself, the organization and what you do.
Well, my name is Hans der Kinderen. I'm a domain architect within T-Mobile, working for T-Mobile for the past 18 years. I've been involved in several major projects within T-Mobile, among which is the digital transformation, which has been running for the last 5 or 6 years by now. And today I'm heavily involved in the impact of the COVID-19 and other projects.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what a digital transformation at T-Mobile looks like?
Yes, the initiative started about 5 or 6 years ago as a business request for T-Mobile to become more what they call omni-channel. T-Mobile used to be set up in a siloed landscape with a retail silo, a telesales silo, a web silo, and the same applied to the distribution channels. So it was not only the customer contact part, but also the delivery part. And the business realized that this is not the modern way of working. If you want to be a modern company, you have to be approachable from any angle that the customer desires, and you have to be able to deliver in any way the customer desires. So it was really focusing on customer centricity, building a single customer view, eliminating the silo, harmonizing the channels, making sure that if the customer wants to go across channels, that he's able to do so, and that the backend is aware of that kind of customer behavior. Making sure that your offerings towards the customer are consistent, so that if a customer sees something on the web and he says, "Oh, I want to know more about that," we go to a shop. Can you please show me the product and demo me the product? That the shop agent knows what the customer wants, and that the shop agent is able to present that particular offering to the customer, and vice versa. So we started it up about 5 or 6 years ago as an initiative, and it turned out to become a major IT transformation program, resulting in several parallel streams. So eliminating the silos means creating a single CRM solution, creating a single product offering solution, creating a single order management solution, and then refining your channels so that the web channel is aware of what is your customer view, what is your product view, what is your sales journey. But that goes for all the channels. So harmonizing all of the channels was a key exercise. And it's still ongoing. We haven't finished it.
Actually, you're confirming what we hear from other customers as well, that digital transformation went from being a priority to an imperative. And how has the global pandemic affected your digital transformation efforts? Have you accelerated your efforts throughout the pandemic?
Well, it became apparent that digital transformation is a must-have. When the pandemic became substantial for us, we got the message on March 13th that the offices are closing. That was from one day, from a Friday onto a Monday. On Friday, please bring your laptop home and be prepared to work from home as of Monday. That was the first part, and we were lucky there that internally we had already prepared a digital transformation. We migrated to Office 365 in January, and we were very lucky to do so because that made working from home really easy for the back office. So after a week, the second step came. The back office was working from home. But the board decided that we had to close our retail channel because the customers weren't safe in our shops, the employees weren't safe in our shops. Maintaining 1.5 meters in our shops, they're not very big, was a challenge. So the only thing we could do was close them down. That was a major issue on board level because, it's like sending home 800 people. And it's not like you have to work from home. No, you have to go home and do nothing until we have a better solution for our retail channel. Luckily, because we had started the omni-channel experience, we had the web channel and the telesales channel to back that up. So the loss wasn't like our trade had stopped, but there was major impact on it. In the meantime, the retail people were really, really inventive in redefining their retail concept. And they were able to reopen the store in like 2 weeks' time in what they call the box and shop concept, which meant that they built a kiosk behind the entry of the shop and were able to open the shop with staff on site and were able to serve the customers from that model. And the latest step they've taken is they are again rebuilding the shop in what they call a dot and shop concept, where they maintain a 1.5 meter distance within the stores. And they designed this distinct routes within the store for employees and customers to go inside the store and to navigate inside the store, and making the store again safer for both the employees and the customers. But being omni-channel in that perspective, having the web channel available and having the telesales channel available, it really helped.
So you mentioned work from home and that employees who normally work at the offices were sent home to work from there. So you recognize that we're in a world where everything is digital and you need to be able to work from anywhere. Identity and access management is in that sense crucial. Can you tell me how you approach identity and access management at T-Mobile?
Sure, I can. Identity management is a really hot topic at the moment. We've been working on it for the past 2 or 3 years already. We just recognized at some point in time that identity management is not a generic topic that you can treat as a general topic or you have a general solution for it. We distinguish 3 distinct domains for identity management, being the customer, which is a key to our business. The second one is our employees, and we learned very quickly that customer and employees and one identity management just doesn't work. And the third one is partners, sales partners in this context. We have a sales organization that distinguishes between direct sales and indirect sales, and both have to be managed in their own partner domain context. So we implemented a solution for customer identity management last year and early this year. It's gone in production, it's not yet live. But this is an interesting one because it works from a customer perspective, and it really helps us in executing the organizational mergers that we have. We have acquired in the past Vodafone Thuis and relabeled it to T-Mobile Thuis. We've acquired Tele2, and we are integrating Tele2 into the T-Mobile world. And that has massive customer impact. And the customer identity management really helps us in creating a consistent customer journey in the T-Mobile world. The other one is employee identity and access management. We already had it, of course. You don't access an office environment without having identity management, but we have to modernize it dramatically, also in the context of using solutions like Office 365. It has their own way of working with identity management. And our employee world is also distributed. We don't just have T-Mobile employees, but our call center is outsourced. Our IT operation is outsourced. Some of our network operation is outsourced. So you don't deal with one domain for having employees. Our own HR system just covers our own employees, but third-party employees are managed by third-party HR systems, and we have to integrate them. So in today's world, everything runs through our own HR system, and that feeds the employee identity management. But for third parties, that is really awkward because our HR system also involves payroll, and we don't do payroll for third-party employees. So we have to modernize on that, and that is an ongoing process. We're currently in the product selection phase for that to set up a much more comprehensive employee identity management solution. And it will really improve employee management from our perspective, which has customer impact because, the agent management will be much better than it is today. The last part, we'll probably deep dive in that later, is the partner management, which is a separate domain, currently very fragmented in the landscape. We really have to clean it up, and we're exploring opportunities to improve on that.
When we go back to customer identity and access management, you choose Salesforce as your preferred vendor. Can you tell us a little bit more about why you selected Salesforce?
For customer access management, what we found is that the access management is really defined by the customer's product. You have access management to your customer data, of course, but you also have the opportunity to manage your product portfolio, your installed products and your installed services, and you have opportunities to buy and to stop products and services. We selected a customer identity and access management platform for that purpose. And we did that, as we always do, through our procurement department, because as IT and as a business, you cannot just buy a solution and implement it. It has to be a proven solution, and it also has to be a value-proven solution. So our procurement department helped us set up a request for proposal route in order to select a project, and we did a market scan in the lead for that track to find out, like, okay, what kind of product do you have in the market? What kind of requirement do you put on these products? And how do you come to a proper product selection? We consulted a number of consultancy parties for that to get a first glance of what does the market do? What does the market behave like? What kind of products are out there? Which ones would be feasible for your shortlist? Which ones would not be? We came out with a shortlist of 3 products that we eventually put in our RFP, one of them being Salesforce. And we composed a list of requirements, both functional requirements of capabilities that the product should have, and non-functional requirements, which we learned are quite important in terms of what is the required capacity, what is required availability, what is required scalability, how does the product behave under heavy load, how does the product behave if you don't have load, what is the cost impact for that, a comprehensive set of requirements that we put in the market. And an RFP is never easy to run, but it's always exciting to take part of because you have lots of sessions, interviews, and knowledge gathering. Ultimately, it was won by Salesforce, surprisingly, because the requirements were written not particularly to be won by Salesforce, but also not to be excluded by Salesforce. But we took into account some of our knowledge of the Salesforce platform and the behavior of Salesforce as a software as a service platform, and challenged this platform in order to meet our technical requirement for the identity and access management solution. And in that journey, we were at some point in touch with Salesforce senior management, because meeting our requirements was also challenging for Salesforce. And at some point in time, senior management of Salesforce US was involved, and we had a very interesting video call with him. For him, it was early in the morning. For us, it was late in the afternoon. But it showed some of the Salesforce commitment. And in that discussion, we had two very important topics that came on the table. One was the statement from Salesforce that Salesforce was committed to make the offering a customer success. And that's a strong statement if that comes from a senior management level. And the other one was our requirement to have a trust relationship, that we need to be confident that if something is happening in the platform, Salesforce will support us and Salesforce will take action if we call for it. And out of that session came the actual motivation to choose for the Salesforce platform based on the commercial offering, which was compelling, to say the least. But also the trust relationship and the Salesforce commitment helped us in making that decision. And of course, the compliance statement from Salesforce was leading. It's not like other projects were better. It's also not like other projects were worse, but Salesforce made a world-class offer there.
So the identity and access management project at T-Mobile is very successful, and I'm really happy with that. But I'm also very curious to learn about what's next on your roadmap and how we from Salesforce can help you.
Well, one of the initiatives we're working on today is two of them are currently running. One is the growth path for the B2B market, business to business, which are complicated customers. They have a complicated customer structure, but they also have a complicated customer product portfolio, and they have a complicated self-service portal. Now the B2B self-service portal we have is like 18 years old. It was already there when I joined T-Mobile, and it's still there in its current state, and it's really outdated. So we are rebuilding that platform, and we're rebuilding it on Salesforce technology. We're using the Salesforce community portal to build that self-service portal. And it's really beneficial to have Salesforce technology for that. Again, for the sake of integration, it's built on the Salesforce CRM core, and it uses the Salesforce portal technology to build a proper customer-facing portal, which is T-Mobile branded. And it's in a very mature state. It's not yet live, but the position where we are, it's becoming mature and becoming ready to be put in production. That's one part. The other part is we are focusing on our partner management. Like I mentioned, we are focusing on not only on partner identity and access management, but on the whole partner relationship management. The most logical way to do it is in Salesforce, because Salesforce treats partner management as an extension of your sales organization, and Salesforce has out-of-the-box functionality for that. And one of the things we are working on is the partner sales and service front end, which is currently completely homegrown, and it's also for a large part technically outdated. It has to be replaced, and it makes a lot of sense to use the similar pattern that we do for B2B. Set up a partner management structure in the Salesforce CRM core, and then build a partner community portal for the partner sales and service features. This is currently in planning phase, but it looks like this is also a pattern that we're going to follow.
It's good to have you involved in the projects because you know the power of the Salesforce platform. But before we close off, I would like to know if there are any lessons learned that you might want to share with the audience.
If you talk about identity and access management, you have to really understand what identity management is and what access management is, and which domains you have to treat for dealing with types of identities. Particularly in the world of employee identity management, it can become really complicated because of the types of employees we have in there. It's not just our own employees, it's also third-party employees that vary from call center agent, field engineers for radio access sites, site engineers that manage our core network. There are so many views on identity management. In our lessons, we learned was that customer identity management is relatively simple, but you have to be very much aware of the non-functionals of the platform. You have to be aware that if identity management and access management, if they fail, then your whole web channel is basically down. So you have to be aware that that platform has to be really strong and potentially outperform your actual web portal because it is so vital in the infrastructure. And you have to be aware that there are several experts in the field that will compete against each other. So you have to be careful on are the offerings genuine and not just of what we call a buy-in nature. That, okay, we'll give you the lowest possible offering and buy ourselves into your operations. And once we're in there, we're stuck with us. That's the situation you want to avoid.
Customer identity and access management is indeed vital for your organization. So thank you for sharing that with us and sharing your story with us about how T-Mobile is currently going through a digital transformation and the impact that COVID-19 has on the organization. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
And with that, let's turn things over to Dan and we'll see a demo of the Salesforce platform driving best-in-class identity management. Over to you, Dan.
Thank you, Annemarie, for the introduction. My name is Dan Vassante, and I'm here today to give you a demonstration of Salesforce Identity for customers and partners. First, a few words about the challenge. Many customers are facing a lot of complexities, and these complexities are often the cause of a very fragmented customer experience. You probably recognize this, but many individuals are having different identities because the applications that they are using are forcing them to use different logins for every application. And this negatively impacts the customer experience. Salesforce solves this complexity and fragmentation by connecting the customer journey across every touch point, regardless of technology and channel. And we do that by providing capabilities such as registration, authentication, and verification. We help provide a single view of the customer with an integrated platform across identity, CRM, and other business processes. We help build a seamless customer experience by allowing your customers, partners, and employees to log in using any mobile app, any web application, or any connected product with one set of credentials. We also help with consistently branding regardless of channel. And finally, we help with meeting trust and compliance requirements because all of a sudden, now your customers, your partners, and your employees can tell you how they want you to treat their data. The challenge of all of this often lies in the complexity of wiring all of this together. But even if you manage to wire everything together, this still only represents the plumbing. The real reason of wiring everything together from an identity and access management point of view is that businesses are often in a need for an increased customer engagement, a more seamless customer experience, or simply to grow the business. And because Salesforce Identity for customers and partners is part of the Salesforce Customer 360 platform, we can now help unify profile and business processes and really help to deliver this customized and cohesive customer journey across sales, service, marketing, and more, maybe any custom application that you might have as well. And by doing so, Salesforce helps to realize this end-to-end customer journey in a way that we believe in. So this would be the moment to take a look at the demonstration of Salesforce Identity for customers and partners. And this demonstration really starts with Fix Find Coffee Kits. And if we take a look at Fix Find Coffee Kits, it's a fictitious company that sells coffee. And they have a website. And on this website, we can log in. If I click the login button, I'm seeing a login page, which is actually surfaced and hosted by Salesforce Identity. I'm going to leverage social sign-on capabilities by clicking on the Facebook button. This allows me to log in on Facebook and authenticate myself. Facebook is sending me back to Salesforce where I am now authenticated and logged in to Fix Coffee's website. If I click on Daisy's icon on the top right, I'm seeing a whole lot of JSON information, which was basically brokered from Facebook to Salesforce, which also includes an access token that Fix Find Coffee Kits can now leverage to do all kinds of things on Daisy's behalf. If you go to the connected Salesforce community, so this is no longer Fix Coffee's website, but a real Salesforce community, we can go there without having a requirement to log in again. So we're leveraging a single sign-on here as well. If you go to My Profile, Daisy can take a look at her profile settings, And for example, she sees a profile picture which we have downloaded from Facebook behind the scenes. Also, we see her name and title and others. If we scroll down, Daisy can set her consent and data subject rights, which are straight saved into the data model and can be leveraged by everything on the Salesforce Customer 360 platform to respect her preferences. And finally, she can link and unlink any other social identities that she might have. Also, single sign-on links to other applications, such as maybe Fix Coffee's blog, would also work without having Daisy to log in once more. So how does this work behind the scenes? If we take a look here, then we provide dashboards to the identities administrators to get a good feel of the demographics. So how many registrations do we have on a day-by-day basis? What cities are people logging in from? What devices are being used, and so forth. But like I said, much of it is really focusing on giving that single view of the customer by integrating it in the Customer 360 platform. So next, we will take a look at Daisy's contact record inside of Salesforce. If we open Daisy's contact record, we can see that the registration source for Daisy was Facebook. This is because she was authenticated by Facebook in the beginning. We see her other registration data, and if we go down, we can also see her consent settings that she was able to manage straight in her profile on the communities page. Also, under the Related tab, we get access to all of this other Salesforce CRM capabilities like orders, cases, opportunities, and so forth. So how does this work behind the scenes? First of all, we have the community builder, where we can basically brand our community pages, which also involves our login page. And this is the login page that we, in the beginning, surfaced in Fix Coffee's PHP page. The integration with Facebook has been configured as an external authentication provider in the Salesforce setup menu. Once we've configured the Facebook integration, which actually comes out of the box, similar to LinkedIn, Twitter, Google, and others, you can outsource the authentication of your users to, in this example, Facebook. And upon login, just after Facebook authenticated Daisy, we also kicked off a registration flow inside Salesforce's Flow Builder. And what this flow actually does is make Daisy's data really actionable. So we were trying to see if we have an account inside of Salesforce for Daisy, if we already had a contact record for her, and if we were able to find a contact record, then we also know if we need to create a user or if we needed to update an existing user record for Daisy. Finally, we can check if we need to create an opportunity. And the last and final step in this business process is to use a Apex action to go and download this profile picture from Facebook. So this was, let's say, at a glimpse, a demonstration of how Salesforce Identities for customers and partners helps to provide this seamless customer experience and how that ties into the Customer 360 platform. With that, I'd like to hand it back over to you, Annemarie. Thanks all for watching.
Yes, thank you, Dan. This was really insightful and giving us an idea of how you can manage your identity and access with Salesforce.